While you're packing those lunch boxes or after-school snacks, our next guest says a few simple swaps can make a big difference in your child's energy and focus. Registered dietitian Dolores Woods from UT Health Houston School of Public Health Care recently stopped by with a few food swaps both kids and parents will love. Dolores, your background is in culinary medicine, gestational diabetes, and child nutrition programs. We are at an epidemic when it comes to our nutrition and the problems, poor nutrition, I should say, and the problems it causes in this country.
We are, and so much of that is because of ultra-processed foods. And we've talked about this, how, it's easy, they're convenient, but they are also really high in sugar, in sodium, and those unhealthy saturated fats. So when we can control the food we make, we control the ingredients, and that's so much healthier for us.
Yeah, and when you do that at a young age, kids' taste buds will be used to eating better foods for them, because the bottom line is we're seeing more kids today, we used to call it adult onset for type 2 diabetes. Now we're just calling it type 2 because you're seeing more kids with it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you have those diseases as a young child, it can really greatly negatively impact your life as an adult. It will follow you into adulthood. All right, you mentioned the convenience thing. I think a lot of us as parents, we start out with, okay, I'm gonna have this healthy, and then we fall into the trap of just snatching whatever we can for their lunch. But you say make it a habit, and before you know it, it will be easier for you.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part, planning. But the planning starts at the grocery store. So when you go shopping, make sure you get all of these ingredients, the fresh fruits, your whole grains, all of these healthier ingredients. Once we have them at home, then it's easier to actually start doing some of the meal prep. But it's going to require time, a little bit of commitment. So, just be ready for that.
And I know a lot of times my parents would get their lunchbox, come home at the end of the day, and most of the food's still in there because it's yucky, right? You're finding things that are nutritionally sound but also taste good. I was skeptical about this first one here, tell people about it, but I'm like, this tastes like I'm eating candy.
It's great. So this is supposed to be a healthier swap for a chocolate bar. They are dates filled with peanut butter. You could fill them with walnuts, and then they're covered in chocolate, a dark chocolate, because the dates are so sweet. They don't really need anything more. And they're gonna satisfy that sweet tooth. They're smaller, and the dates are a great source of fiber. They're also a great source of potassium. So they have a lot of more essential nutrients than just your generic candy bar.
And your natural sugar in those fruits reads differently in the body than an added thing or a corn syrup or something, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be just much better, more nutrients.
All right, tell us about this next thing you have here.
And then here we have some energy balls. So instead of that granola bar, again, I know it's convenient, but we can make these really fast. There's some dates in here, coconut, almonds, chia seeds. So again, a lot of really healthy ingredients. You blitz it in a food processor, form little balls. And this is a great activity for kids also, because they could get their hands dirty. They love doing
When they
things.
take ownership of their lunch, they want to eat it more. And they want to tell kids at school, oh, I helped to make this, right?
Yeah.
This is really, it tastes like a macaron almost.
Yeah, and there's no added sugar. It's all coming from the fruit, and so you're gonna have more protein, more fiber, really just all around healthier.
Yeah, or I should say macaroon. And then those good fats, because we know we've made fat evil, but you need fat in a developing brain.
You do, absolutely. Heart healthy fats.
All right, moving on to these things. We love little finger foods, little crunchy things. You can get it, doesn't have to be a chip.
It doesn't have to be a chip. So this is some roasted edamame, great source of fiber, protein. There's so much protein in here. You have a little bit of that salt, but again, it's not as much as some of these chips where they have just a lot of additives and fillers. Air popped popcorn, this is one of my favorites. It's so easy, it's inexpensive. You could eat, a lot of it, and it's still lower in calories than your chips. Roasted garbanzos is also really trendy right now. So these are great on their own, but also in salads or power bowls. Those are something that people really like to do, and you just season them however you'd like.
Yeah, kids like hand foods anyway, but on the edamame, kids have loved that for a while. We were able to get some protein into them. Like you said, it's interesting because sometimes people forget all protein doesn't come from meat source, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and so these are great vegetarian sources of protein, the edamame and the garbanzos.
Okay, and then right here, when you sometimes put something in a different container and make it creative, it makes kids more interested in it too.
Yeah, so get your fancy mason jars out. These are overnight oats, and we have a chia seed pudding right now. Those are super trendy everywhere on Instagram, TikTok. You see people making.
That's all you gotta do is show your kid. Oh, honey, it's on TikTok.
Exactly. All right. And the chia seeds, they are so healthy. They're a really good source of fiber, protein. They have omega-3s, which we really need those. They're
Brain
essential for
again,
brain.
right?
Exactly, for kids. And I just like making these at the beginning of the week. You put them in the refrigerator. There's also rolled oats in here. here, so you're getting some of that fiber, and they're so much more filling than your cold cereals. I mean, cold cereals, it's just sugar, you know, they're so processed. You're not getting any essential nutrients from them, but with this, it's really well balanced, and you have your seasonal fruit in here. I love frozen fruit in here, but you could really get creative, get some mango, some shredded coconut, you know, make it something that's interesting.
Yeah, all right, I love this. So now kids are going to eat everything in their lunchboxes and come home empty because we're going to say Dolores and TikTok said so. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, to learn more about any of these healthy swaps or to connect with Dolores, visit greatdayhouston.com.